Alright, here we are with a 2006 Hyundai Santa Fe. So today's wonderful issue has to do with the climate control. So if you've ever had a vehicle like this, you might know what that coin is. So the issue that we're having here, let's turn this guy on. So we turn this on, and hey look, we got a fan, but if you take the quarter out, it stops. So this is going to be a video for how to show you how to fix this when your fan doesn't work. You noticed it worked for a little bit there. Alright, so the problem here has to do with the switch. So this entire panel can come out and it'll look a little something like this. So we are going to remove this panel, and we are actually going to take the switch apart and clean out the contacts and make it work again. Okay, so first step, I'm going to take this ashtray out, get that out of the way, and then we got two Phillips screws down here. So we're going to take those screws out, and then there's tabs. There's a tab on every corner, and this entire assembly will pull out, and then we will have 3 electrical connections we have to undo. We got 1, 2, and 3. So after that, we can get to the switch. So let's take some screws out. So we got our 2 screws out, and I just put my hand in here and pulled real hard, and I actually got the left side to pop out. So we got our 2 clips over here, and we just got to disengage these clips over on this side if we can. Sometimes it can be a little persistent. You might have to use a small flathead to try to undo it. Oh, there she goes. And just that bottom one. Okay, there you go. So here are the electrical connections. So we have the 2 on the top. And then when you slide this out a little further, you'll have the one on the back all the way on the bottom, which is for the outlets. Now it might help to shift this out apart to give you a little more room, but once we pop this guy out, which I think I'll have to do with another hand, then this whole assembly is free and we can work on the switch. Alright, so here is the actual switch assembly itself. I'm going to see if I can get the this back housing off without even removing the switch assembly. So we just got a bunch of plastic clips. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the bottom you got 5 and 6. Most of the pressure is going to be on these 2 clips, so if we can undo those, this entire assembly will come out. There's going to be a spring in here, and we can go to town cleaning up the contacts. Alright, so after you're done wrestling with it, I started with the bottom tabs first and then worked my way counterclockwise. Open that side and then the top, and then just keep going until it'll finally release. It is a pain in the ass. I needed at least 2 screwdrivers to do it. Alright, so here is the copper slide on here. We have the top and bottom, and then the 4 speeds in the middle. And then this is the actual slide unit that is connected to the dial. So when you spin the dial, it moves back and forth. Get the picture? So these 2 contacts use the center one to actually select the speed. So we just got to clean that up and we should be good as new. So yeah, we took this thing apart. We got ourselves a wire brush. You can also use sandpaper if you want to try to clean this up. And we're going to clean that up real nice and put this together. Alright, so I just used a wire brush to clean it all up, make it nice and clean, no more carbon buildup, and then a paper towel just to clean up any of the old dirty grease. So the way that the pinout works for this top bar right here goes to the bottom left contact, the bottom bar goes to the bottom middle, and then the other 4 selection speeds are the other 4. So we can put this together and see if everything makes contact or not. Same over here, scrubbed and clean, so see if it works. Just as a bench test, we can use a multimeter with a beep test, which is just continuity mode with a speaker. So we have our 2 probes. The first thing we want to check is the bottom ones down here are touching no matter what. So no matter what dial indicator is showing up here, no matter where you twist this, these should always be together. With the brown unit, that was not the case. For some reason they weren't touching, and that's probably why it wasn't working. So it's good to see what a good unit looks like. But we always have contact, which is good. So the next thing you can check is between either the center one and this one to all four of the others. So you just keep turning it and checking to see if we have contact or not. The center one's a little easier to hold, but I'll just test each one. That one's good. And rotate it to the next position. Good. Next position. Good. And the final one. Good. Okay. So now when we plug this in, it should work perfectly fine. Okay, so now we got the unit in place. We just got the two plugs in the top plugged in. So before we put it all together, let's make sure the thing works. Okay. Hey! Sweet baby Jesus. Look at that, huh? Good to go. And no more stupid quarter trick. Alright, cool. So that is how you clean out your blower fan switch contacts and make the thing work again. Now if that doesn't work, we will take this apart a little farther and show you what it takes to fully replace this, because you can buy the switch from the dealer, from what I've heard online. So if you just want to get a new switch and not try to, fix it all up, we'll show you how to take the thing apart a little farther and actually replace it. But if you're lucky enough to fix it, then hey, you save yourself some money. Alright. Sweet. Okay, so don't forget about the bottom connector down there, which is going to be for your cigarette lighter and all that stuff. So it'll be a black connector. Make sure that clips in. Sorry if you can't see it too well. Alright, so the light's connected. All the other connectors are connected. Okay. So now you just put it back in. Just give her a nice firm push. Make sure everything's lined up properly. There you go. Just like that, she's back to new. Okay, so then you can put your two bottom screws in, and your ashtray, and you're all done. Something to notice, depending on what year you have, this dial might change. Sometimes the off will be over here, sometimes it'll be over here with like a max AC or something like that. So, if you have multiple options, make sure to check and see if you're getting the option that you want. But anyway, that's how you clean up a switch or replace a switch in Hyundai Santa Fe. Hopefully that fixes the problem for you. Stay warm and or cold. Alright, so here is the actual switch assembly itself. We have one screw that holds the main base and plate. We have this little electrical connector for the bulb that we can pop out. So when you unscrew this, you twist it clockwise and the thing will come out. But before you do that, on the front side, this little button has to pop out. You get a little tiny flathead and you can pop that out. So this will pop out. Usually you can go either on the bottom or the top, but you just kind of pry it a little bit and it should pop out. Okay. So that's the first part, that's the center button. And then this part comes off when you pull the switch out. So you just pull the switch out really hard and it'll separate. So I'll show you what that looked like on the other one. Okay, so just to show you, just slide it, and then that's how it disengages. So you got your three little teeth on there, and then the lock tab where the screw goes in. This one also comes off with some force. You just rotate the switch and pull hard, and it should come off. Just make sure you don't cut yourself on anything when you're sliding out of there. But yeah, that's about it. So we're going to clean this up and see if it works. Okay, so in the old unit, now I actually know what I'm looking for. So if you look at this nub in here, you can actually see that that one is worn down. So it's probably not making the proper contact that it should anymore. But this one was all cleaned up and polished as well. So the thing that I'm wondering is, this thing rides constantly, so no matter where it's at, those two wires are always contacted. So I'm wondering if you could do a more hack fix where you actually, jump these somehow with a piece of wire so that they're always touching, and then this should work again. I don't really see what the issue would be with that. You could kind of bypass this in case it's acting up and only one of the pins works. That could be a real hack fix to fix it. Yeah, otherwise I don't know. Make sure if this ever comes out that you index this thing so it is all the way to the right with this thing rotated all the way to the right. So that way this thing actually moves properly and slides the way that it should. Because if you get the teeth in there wrong, it might not mesh properly, and that would be bad. So just make sure you get that right. Okay, so now don't forget your spring, and we will snap this all together. So you just put it in slightly clockwise, and then you just rotate it counterclockwise until it locks into place. Then you just put your screw in. Now on the other side, just check and see. Okay, so that's how you can tell. Yeah. Just like that. So if this doesn't align, you know, if you're having trouble, just kind of spin it until it clicks into place. There's only one way it'll fit. Just like that. And then your center button will pop in there. Make sure the little tab is facing up. You can click it in there, along with the screw holding it in, and you're good to go.